membership. I've actually got some flyers of groups that said they only wanted drunkards of good repute to be part of their groups. Now, I don't know about you, but I've actually run into a few meetings where I thought that policy had continued forward. As the recovery-focused temperance societies became less relevant, and by the way, this is a theme, and the theme is when systems of recovery support collapse in American history, out of the ashes of that support, recovering people will rise from those ashes and begin immediately to rebirth new systems of recovery support. So if everything we know today, from professional treatment to AA and NA and the secular and religious recovery pathways I'll describe to you, if they collapse today, tonight, I promise you tomorrow out of those ashes, recovering people would rise and rebirth systems of support once again. The ribbon reform clubs were what got rebirthed out of the collapse of the fraternal temperance societies. And they were known for wearing a particular colored ribbon, both that when they traveled, they could recognize each other and offer sober fellowship for each other. And secondly, to send a signal to the larger community that long-term recovery was a reality. And what I want to tell you is it will be more than 130, 40 years later before we get that message returning within the American culture. We also had institution-based recovery support groups. And the early treatment of addiction is going to emerge in four forms. We're going to get inebriate homes that are very close to what today we would call our recovery residents, right? A subject close to some of our hearts here, right? And the recovery residences are going to be very closely associated with the Washingtonians or the Ribbon Reform Clubs. They tend to be small homes, very short lengths of stay, really relying on sort of sober fellowship, and also a unique pattern of mentorship that we'll later see rebirth within AA, within these homes. Secondly, is we're going to have medically directed inebriate asylums. These are the first real medical institutions specialized for the treatment of addiction. These are going to begin in 1864 with the opening of the New York State Inebriate Asylum, and we're going to have inebriate asylums beginning to spread across the United States. Third is we're going to have private, for-profit addiction cure institutes whose primary purpose is to make money. Right? They've got stockholders, they're going to make money, they're going to make money treating this disorder. The largest of these is the Keeley Institutes that are going to be replicated in more than 120 communities in the United States and in Europe. But there were many Keeley competitors, the Gatlin Institutes, the Neal Institutes, the Oppenheimer Institutes, and many of these, by the way,